Hello, everybody.
Welcome,
Welcome.
brave adventurers.
Welcome, little wizards.
Oh,
And
speaking, I gotta show you my shirt. It might be reversed, but I have a wizard shirt on today. It
I
says
didn't
I did.
believe in magic until I saw my dogs turn into snakes. What does that even mean?
Like you were my dog, but you were a snake.
Oh, but
Yeah.
where did you get that?
I'll have to find it.
I
I'll
need to
post
buy
it online.
shirts like that just for the
I love them
podcast.
so much, and it's so comfortable, and it's hilarious.
That is so funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta start coordinating our outfits.
We do, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is too good. Well, welcome, wizards, fair knights,
Welcome.
and beautiful princes and princesses. Today on the questing hour, we explore my story.
Ari
My
story.
story. And for my story, I went more on the questing side of the
Ooh,
podcast instead of the knighting side. Because the
okay.
first thing that came to mind when I thought of quest
Mhm.
was the quest for Camelot,
Ooh.
the cartoon movie
Oh my
that
gosh.
was released in 1998.
Iconic.
It is so good. It's an
Mhm.
animated musical
Love.
and it is so funny. It's just I love it. The characters are fantastic. The main character is a girl who is
Yeah.
badass
Oh, I love
and
her.
ends up going on these adventures
Mhm.
to solve her quest, basically. So basically, we have this young adventurous girl who gets sent on this quest to get Excalibur
Mhm.
and I believe also save her mom.
Oh.
If y'all don't remember last week, I said I could not rewatch it. Maggie was able to rewatch The Green Knight. I could not rewatch it because it costed money, but it
Mhm.
is on Amazon Prime for those of you who
Oh,
want to
okay.
know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
But she gets accompanied by a young blind man who is very like in tune with nature around him because he can only hear things.
Mhm.
Um, a goofy, like silly two-headed dragon, which is like comedic relief type of
Yeah.
vibes. And they try to find the lost sword of Excalibur to save King Arthur and Camelot from the villain who killed her father,
Mm.
who was a knight at the round table.
Ooh.
So basically, I believe one of the knights had turned against King Arthur and
Mhm.
wanted to like take over because he wanted to become king.
Yeah.
And so he tries to like take over the round table by stealing
Mhm.
Excalibur and shit hits the fan basically.
Dang.
And so she gets older and everyone's like, he, silly girl, you can't do nothing. And she ends up saving everybody's ass.
Of course.
But the animation is fantastic. The
Mhm.
music is fantastic. And again, I love that the girl is the main character.
I love that. Yeah.
But it's all about adventure.
Mhm.
She goes through all these obstacles and discourse along the way. The blind man that she runs into, they don't like each other at first, but
Mhm.
they end up helping each other and making it to the end, and I think
Yeah.
he becomes like the love interest.
Ooh.
Um but they're going through this enchanted forest
Mhm.
to get the magic sword, solve all their problems, and save everybody in the end.
Love it.
King Arthur is at the round table with all of his knights in the end, and she's there with them.
Oh.
And yeah, it's
Mhm.
fantastic. It is such a happy movie, and
Yeah.
I love it. I wanted to bring it up because it is just like it does involve knights, but I wanted to bring it up because seemingly, the world is against this young girl. Her father
Yeah.
is dead. It's just her and her mother who are taken advantage of by these knights and brutes who literally like seemingly are very abusive to her mother.
Mhm.
But it's just you have all these people and these lands that are divided between like the evil guys and then the knights that are trying to
Yeah.
hold their places in the kingdom. and save people, but it's not working. And she's the one that all the odds are stacked up against her. And
Mhm.
she ends up finding people and learning things on her journey through this magical forest to find Excalibur that end up helping her and saving her in the end.
Mhm.
So, like, for example, one of the things that she learns, I think, from the blind guy is that he ends up teaching her some of the skills that he learns to survive the forest that actually helps her end up
Oh
getting through
yeah.
because he can
Mhm.
feel and listen, kind of like Toph from Avatar,
Yeah.
to the world around him
Mhm.
to
Like Daredevil.
survive. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Daredevil, exactly. And
Yeah.
like move along. And then she ends up learning some of these things and she's able to keep up with him and go
Mhm.
through the magical forest with him.
Yeah.
And I love that, with all the odds stacked against her, she still wins and succeeds. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, that is the moral of the story. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you are or how the
Mhm.
odds seemingly are stacked against you. You can make it to the end of your story. You can succeed
Yeah.
in your quests. You
Mhm.
will find your Excalibur. You will save your mom. You will save the
Mhm.
kingdom. And you will join the knights at their round table. That
I
is the
love
moral of the
that.
story.
Oh, that is so sweet. I love stories where the main character is underestimated and then they get to be like, "Ah, you thought the whole time."
Psych.
Psych! I'm actually way cooler than you.
Yeah,
I love that
exactly.
so much. I work in a male dominated field. I work in the
Hmm.
TV industry and I am one of the youngest people there and one of the only females in my position. And when I first started, I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to have like more masculine traits. I'm gonna have to like start being mean to people and start like
Yeah.
getting what I want in that way, like acting like all the men in my position,
Hmm.
or they're not gonna take me seriously. But the more I do it, I'm like, I can be who I am and keep my feminine traits, be gentle and kind and optimistic, and still do a great job and get what I want.
Exactly.
And so I think that was a really good story to talk about, just like feeling underestimated, people around you not taking you seriously, and then at the end of the day, you could do it all along.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like you don't have to change who you are to get things done.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that they have to change when I think a better way to look at it is to evolve yourself.
Hmm.
You don't have to change who you are, but you can, learn more knowledge to get yourself ahead. Or you can still carry the same kindness and personality that you have, but if you learn more skills or improve on your knowledge or something, like especially in like a job, like that can put you way ahead of
Hmm.
anybody else,
Yeah.
you don't have to lose yourself in your quest in order to fulfill it, I guess
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
the best way of saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Hmm. It
But
reminds me
yeah.
of in Captain America Civil War when
Yeah.
they're at Peggy's funeral and her niece, Agent 13, is
Yes.
talking about all the things that she learned from Peggy as she was like the first female head of like Shield. She helped found it and she was all constantly underestimated. And the thing that she says is that she learned from her aunt, when the whole world is telling you to move, it's your job to plant yourself like a tree and say no, you move.
I love that.
I
Oh
think about
my
that all
god.
the time. Yeah.
Chills.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god, that
Hmm.
is powerful
Yeah.
stuff.
So like you can always rise to the occasion and become the leader and become the way you're supposed to be, but never compromise who you are
Yeah.
in lieu of somebody else's wish for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to get caught up in other people and what's happening in the
Hmm.
world around you and kind of forget who you are or where you came from or what your core self actually is,
Hmm.
especially amongst like, you know, all the crap happening in the world.
Yeah.
Um and it's very easy to get caught up and forget who that is, especially, if you have, neurodivergencies or anxiety and things like that. It's easy to lose yourself and all that.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's important to, ground yourself and explore maybe explore those parts of you to better equip yourself for them
Hmm.
instead of trying to mask or change them,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
And, at the end of the movie, they basically, like I said, they save Camelot and all the knights. They end up making the kingdom stronger than ever. And I think the girl's name is like Kayla or Kaylee or something like that.
Hmm.
And the guy, they both basically get recognized for their strength because they alone did what the Knights of the Round Table could not do.
Yeah. Hmm.
And they were able to, become knights that kind of fall in love, like I said.
Hmm.
And so through this hardship and everything, they got a new path in life. They had formed relationships stronger than they had ever had. And, their community was better and safer than it had ever been. And so this is like what we were talking about before, too, with recognizing that the path might be hard and
Hmm.
terrifying, but in the end, you'll be so much better off for it. You'll be so much,
Yeah. Hmm.
there's always something to look for on the other side.
Hmm.
So many people are like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, you don't know if the grass is greener unless you go over there. Maybe
Yeah.
water your own grass.
Right. Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you know?
Hmm.
Like, but yeah, I
Hmm.
it's such a good movie. Definitely
Yeah.
recommend. It's
Hmm.
like I feel like it's one of those older animated movies that feel like more purposeful and more real than some of the newer animated movies.
Hmm.
They're a
I
little
get
bit
that.
more
Yeah.
darker.
Yes. Yeah.
They're definitely not all like sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it the most, but
Hmm. Yeah. I love that genre where on the surface it's like a kids movie, but then it's
mhm.
like, whoa, these are like really dark
Yeah.
themes that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like Coraline is one of those that is like
Coraline is so good.
it's the perfect movie. It's
It
literally the
truly
perfect
is.
movie.
No, it
So good.
truly is.
Yeah. And then Alice in Wonderland kind of has those like dark moments
Yes,
too,
it
where you're
does
like,
for
this is
sure.
a little too scary. And there was a part in the Winnie the Pooh movie that I couldn't watch when I was a kid. It was too scary. It was the Heffalumps and Woozles scene.
Yes,
It's awful.
it is
It's so
terrifying.
scary.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's awful.
Like, oh my gosh.
It's
That
so
I forgot that
scary. I'm so
existed.
scared. I think about it all the time, and I'm like,
With
ooh,
the
I'm so
lumps and
scared.
woozles.
So scary. I'm
Get ready,
scared.
befoozles.
Oh my god, it's awful. It's
And
awful.
they're like dancing on the walls.
Yeah, and they're like eyeballs are like spitting out of their heads and stuff, and it's like dark. It's
Horrifying.
like black background, and then like big
Yeah,
neon heffalumps.
absolutely not.
Frightening, frightening.
That's some terrifying stuff.
Yeah, but like that animation style is what I
Yes.
love.
That like
Hmm.
I know I mentioned this before, but another example of that would be like the Black Cauldron
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
one, and then there's another one that's also a Disney movie where it's like a kids animated movie.
Hmm.
The freak is it called?
Is it the Sword in the Stone?
Well, there's that one too. Doesn't the witch turn into a crocodile in that one? Or
I
is
can't
that
remember.
Bedknobs and Broomsticks? Is that an
Oh, I
animated
forgot
movie?
that too. I can't remember either. I just remember
Oh
the
my god, there's
titles.
so many
There's
movies that are like coming into my head right now.
Fantasia is the one with Mickey Mouse, where he's the
Yes, that's the
wizard,
one with
right?
all the shorts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some of those are twisted. There's a
Mhm.
one of my favorite ones from that is like there's a ballerina and she's like a little toy ballerina
Mhm.
and this Jack in the Box wants the ballerina to love him
Yes, I
and he
remember
tries
that.
to force her to love him, but she loves the little Nutcracker Prince.
Yeah.
So he tries to kill the Nutcracker
Oh
Prince
my
and
god.
traps the ballerina in like a cup.
No.
And so the Nutcracker Prince has to like save her,
Oh
but
my
she's like
god.
this fragile, like little
Little thing,
ballerina
yeah.
thing, and he's like this wooden like block boy. And the Jack in the
Wooden
Box
block
is
boy.
so horrifying. He used to
Yeah.
like
Boy, oy,
jump
oy, oy.
and like Like
I
literally
hate that.
it
I
was
hate it.
horrifying.
Yeah, that's
And
scary.
they're like tiny and he's like this big
Mhm.
ass toy
Oh
on
my
the and
gosh.
it was yeah, it was a horror. But they I think it ends up happy
Okay,
and
good.
but it ends up like I'm pretty sure it ends like a Hansel Gretel situation where he like jumps into the fireplace.
Of course.
But like
Man,
it's so
gosh.
horrifying. But Fantasia's kind of a work of art.
Yeah, it's
Um
beautiful.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely recommend. This is a part again where me and Maggie just spiral.
We go
We
into
were
the
supposed
horrors
to
of
talk a
children's
little
animation.
yeah, we were supposed to talk a little bit about medieval art today, but I'm gonna save it
Oh
because I
yeah.
have so much to say
I do.
about
I have a lot
medieval
of
art.
thoughts. Yeah, we should
So
save that.
we can push it to Monday. I feel like a
I
longer
think so.
episode would be more suitable
Yeah.
for talking
I'm
on medieval
obsessed.
art because oh my
Yeah.
gosh, they're some of them are bonkers.
Much to think about for sure.
Much, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's my story. I guess to reiterate the moral of the story, I want to remind you guys that you don't have to change who you are
Hmm.
to fulfill your quests. You don't have to change who you are to form anybody's frame of mind and their purposes for you
Hmm.
or who they think that you should be. You know, it's who you are and who you want to be that is
Yeah.
important and how you should frame your quests and how you fulfill out your days and living intentionally. That
Hmm.
is the most important. And whether or not people underestimate you is honestly is their problem.
Yeah,
Is
that's
their
on them.
responsibility.
Hmm.
It's that's on them. It's not on you.
They'll figure it out soon enough.
Yeah, you can fulfill your quests and
Hmm.
be successful without shaping yourself to fulfill other people because that
Exactly.
doesn't do anything for you.
Hmm.
That does everything for them and not for you,
Right? Yeah.
you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
What a good
So,
story you picked out.
thank you. So, today's quest that I am going to give y'all is something that I have it's a little Ari side quest, so you don't
Hmm.
have to do this, but this is something that I've been putting off for myself because I have a hard time recognizing, you know, who I am and my worth sometimes because I do occasionally equate and seek validation from other people about who I am and the type of person that I am, and sometimes
Hmm.
I don't believe it unless I hear it from somebody else. And that's something that I'm personally working on.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I'm trying to make for myself is a personal website that acts as a portfolio where I can showcase all of my art, showcase
Yeah.
the work that I've written or edited or published. Um because as I've said before, like I'm in a transitional period in my life
Hmm.
and in this transitional period I've applied to so many jobs, creative and not and otherwise. And right now that's part of my quest is trying to find a second job and it's very difficult, especially if I want something in the creative field and I don't
Yeah.
have a creative portfolio to fall back on
Hmm.
or show for. So
Yeah.
my quest for myself and my side quest, our request for you guys is to create your own website that acts as a resume or portfolio for
Yeah.
people to look at your art.
I
It
love that.
showcases yourself and your achievements
Hmm.
and, you know, how you are online. So people can find your works and actually, you know, recognize you for who you
Yeah.
are and what you do.
Hmm.
So
That's
that definitely
fantastic.
is leaning towards my artists and my creatives out there,
Hmm.
but that this applies to anyone. If you would
Oh
like to
yeah.
take up this RE quest, please do.
I love that. I
But that
definitely
is,
will. Yeah. I
yeah,
actually I have one and I started it like a Google Sites thing and
yeah,
I put my name on there and then I changed the color scheme and then it was like, tell me about you and then I was like, and then I closed it.
yeah. That's like
So,
that's literally what I have to do. I'm like,
who am I
who
anyway?
is that
Yeah.
actually? So that is your RE quest.
I love
So
it.
you have a real quest from last week, and then you have a Maggie quest,
Hmm.
and then you have a side quest from Monday, and today you have an RE quest.
Love it.
So a bunch of little baby quests.
Ah, so fun. Wow.
You
You guys are questing it up.
guys are doing so good,
We're a
actually.
lot of quests. I'm proud of you guys.
I'm proud of you.
We're really slaying those
We're
dragons,
really
fighting those
questing it up
ogres.
out here.
We be questing.
You know how Bon Jovi said living on a prayer? We're just living on an adventure.
Yeah, we are. We're halfway there.
Whoa. Living on
Living
an
on an
adventure.
adventure. Take my hand.
And we'll make it, I
I
swear.
swear.
Whoa.
Living on a prayer.
I think Bon Jovi would be
He would. Bon Jovi, please sponsor us. Is he? Is
I
he?
can sing another one for you, Bon Jovi, if you want.
Mhm.
Want it? Dead
Dead
or
or
alive?
alive, I still ride.
I still ride. Dead or
Or alive.
alive. Anyways, join the adventure
Yeah.
on Spotify or YouTube at
Spotify,
the
YouTube.
Questing Hour.
Yes.
Instagram and TikTok are Questing Hour Podcast,
Podcast.
Questing HR in Our Podcast. And over on Twitter, we do daily quests. If these are too much for your brain at Questing Hour, they will be all over there. Maggie and I do updates all the time on Instagram and
All the
TikTok, so
time.
be sure to check that out.
Yeah. And also keep us updated on all the quests that you're doing. And if you have any comments or questions about our episodes, you can tweet us or Snapchat, Instagram, not the Snapchat, or
Snapchat, Instagram
or
us.
Instagram, TikTok us at hashtag the questing hour. We would love to hear from you
Hashtag the
guys.
what?
Hashtag my questing hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we would love to hear from you all about how your
Yeah.
quests are.
And we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Monday, I
Farewell,
still
travelers.
ride.
I still ride.
Dead
Dead
or
or alive.
alive.